ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयः चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. In the continuation of reading of the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam is the sound representation of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. So, as Krishna is unlimited, similarly, in each word and each letter of Srimad Bhagavatam, there are unlimited meanings, and one can understand them by association of devotees. Don't then say that Bhagavatam is a collection of answers to questions. There were 6 questions put by the sages of Naimisharanya to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami explained or answered the 6 questions in the Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a verse in the Vedic literature in which Lord Shiva says, "So far as Bhagavatam is concerned, I may know, or Sukadeva may know, or Vasudeva may know it, or not know it. But actually, Bhagavatam is to be understood by devotional service and from a devotee, and not by one's own intelligence or by learned comments." The sages of Naimisharanya asked, "My dear sir, kindly tell us now, after the departure of the Lord for his own abode, if the principles of religion have gone with him, how can we find such principles after his departure?" The reply was as follows. After the departure of Krishna to his abode with all religious principles, his representation, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Mahapurana, stands as the blazing, illuminating sun. The Lord then said, "I am just like a madman to describe these words of Atma Rama in so many ways. So you must not mind if I have said something mad. But if somebody becomes a madman like me, he can understand the real meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam as I have explained it." Then Sanatan Goswami with folded hands fell down at the feet of Lord Chaitanya and prayed as follows. "My dear Lord, you have asked me to prepare the regulative principles of devotional service, but I belong to the lowest caste. I have no knowledge. I do not know how such an important task can be finished by me. If you will kindly give me some hints about the preparation of such a book on devotional service, then it may be that I shall be qualified to write such a book." The Lord then blessed him, saying, "Whatever you write, by the grace of Krishna, everything will come out of your heart to be accepted as you have asked. I will give you some notes that you can take down. The first and foremost thing is that one should accept a bona fide spiritual master. That is the beginning of spiritual life. After indicating that one should begin by accepting a spiritual master, he requested Sanatana Goswami to write the symptoms of a true guru and the symptoms of a true devotee. The symptoms of a devotee are described in the Padma Purana. A person who is qualified Brahmana and at the same time qualified with all the symptoms of a devotee can become the spiritual master of all classes of men. And such a devotee and spiritual master must be respected as God Himself. But a person, even though he may be born of a very respectful Brahmana family, cannot become a bona fide spiritual master if he is not a devotee of the Lord. One should not therefore be misguided to think that a bona fide spiritual master is required to be born of a so-called Brahmana family. The idea is that a spiritual master must be a qualified Brahmana by the symptoms of his activities. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Narada speaks of different symptoms of different divisions of social life, and when he summarizes that Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and Sudras should be selected by their particular individual qualifications and symptoms. And Sridhara Swami has noted in his comment that birth in the family of a Brahmana does not mean that one is Brahmana. He must be qualified with the symptoms of a Brahmana as they are described in the Shastras. Practically, also, we have experienced that there are many devotees in the disciplic succession of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, such as the two great Acharyas, Thakur Narottam and Shyamananda Goswami, who were not born in Brahmana families but were accepted as spiritual masters by many brahmanas of fame, such as Ganga Narayana Ramakrishna. In this way, there are symptoms of the prospective devotee, and both the disciple and the spiritual master must each see whether the other is eligible to become a bona fide spiritual master or a bona fide student of the spiritual master. Then one should know that the worshipable object is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all kinds of different mantras, sacred songs should be understood. The Lord also instructed that Sanatana should describe the symptoms of persons who are eligible to accept the mantra and how the mantra should be understood and perfected by ritualistic performances. Then he described initiation, morning duties, and duties of cleanliness, washing the face, washing the teeth, working, and prayers both in the morning and in the evening. How to worship the spiritual master, how to mark the body with gopi chandan, how to collect the tulsi leaves, how to wash the room in the temple of the Lord, and how to awaken Krishna from his sleeping. He described different methods for worshipping the Lord, which is called the method of fivefold paraphernalia and 50-fold paraphernalia. How to worship the Lord by 5 times offering worship and arati. How to offer foodstuff to Krishna. How to lay him down on the bed. There are different symptoms of the form of the Lord and Salagram Shila, such as the effect of going to holy places, where there are different temples of the Lord, and seeing the form of God in the temples. There is the glorifying of the transcendental name of the Lord and the different offenses in the matter of worshipping. When worshipping the Lord, there are other things, paraphernalia such as a conch shell, water and fragrant flowers, prayers and hymns, circumambulation, offering obeisances, regulative principles of Purushorchana, and accepting Krishna Prasadam, rejecting foodstuff which is not offered to Krishna, and not indulging in defaming a devotee who has the actual symptoms of a devotee. So I stop here for today's reading and just summarize. And today's reading truly describes the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami to write the book, and where Sanatana Goswami pleads to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bless him and guide him, because since he thinks himself to be not capable of performing the writing the book, as he comes from a very low caste. But Lord Sri Chaitanya says that he is blessed, and whatever he writes that is coming from his heart will be accepted. But at the start of the reading today, it's very clearly said that how important is Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Srimad Bhagavatam is not a simple scripture. It's an sound representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Every word of Srimad Bhagavatam represents Krishna, and every word has multiple meanings. So no one can understand Srimad Bhagavatam just by one's effort in reading the scripture, or by reading the commentaries produced by many intelligent people. Nowadays we have so many commentaries available, but if we think that we can understand Srimad Bhagavatam by on our own efforts, it is in vain. The only way one can really take the advantage of understanding Srimad Bhagavatam is by approaching the bona fide spiritual master, who is Brahmanishta and Brahmashotri, as well as who is the great devotee of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also asked Sanatan Goswami to write the symptoms of the real Guru and the symptoms of devotee. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was has already predicted maybe people will be misguided and may not understand, and they may make a terrible mistake of choosing a wrong spiritual master and may not be able to get the actual path of preaching the Supreme Lord. So I stop here for